Hello everyone, hope everybody is doing okay. Not going too stir crazy with the lockdown and the social distancing and keeping busy. And so today I have another deck to share. I saw one of these cards online, I forget exactly where, and I was very intrigued by the image, so I went to try to find more about it and couldn't really find a whole lot. This is not a new deck. It's been out for some time and was actually issued originally in 2011 in a 33 card edition, but was later expanded in, I think it was 2015, with an additional 22 cards, bringing the total that in the deck that I have to 55 cards. So what it is the card decks of the Sidhe. Let's see if we can, there we go. So the deck is by David Spangler and Jeremy Berg. So according to the author, David Spangler, both he and the artist Jeremy Berg were individually visited by a member of the Sidhe who was interested in working more closely with humanity. So let me just read the blurb that Amazon has for it. In 2011, both David Spangler and Jeremy Berg experienced independent but related contacts with a group of Sidhe. These Sidhe were interested in promoting closer contact and collaboration with humanity. Led by a Sidhe named Marielle, this contact resulted in the creation of the card deck of the Sidhe. This deck is a part of the ongoing exploration and collaboration with the Sidhe as they seek to have greater partnership with humanity in the 21st century. This beautifully illustrated card deck of the Sidhe is composed of both the original and extension decks, comprising a 55 card full color deck, which come in a fabric carrying pouch. Included is full combined printed manual outlining the storytelling, meditative, and oracular uses of both the original 33 cards and the 22 card extension deck. So this is, it's kind of interesting. He goes into this long, right in the beginning, he tells the story of the deck, and then he goes into this long sort of guided meditation visualization, or his own. So they tell this story below as if you were reading from the pages of a journal. Apparently it was also published by Lorien Press as a booklet, A Midsummer's Journey. Now, the thing that I find interesting about this visualization, where he goes around to all these different standing stones around this how, is the whole thing is done widdershins, which is counterclockwise, which is typically what you do for a banishing, which I thought was kind of weird. There's no real explanation for it. I don't know why it was done widdershins rather than Dichel, which is sunwise or clockwise. He also suggests a, quote, sun cycle, unquote, of beginning. The first one starts in the south, moves east, then to the north, then to the west. And then like I said, I started to say, he suggests a sun cycle of beginning in the east and ending in the south, which would again go widdershins. So I don't know why. There's no explanation given for this, but it seems, I don't know, odd to me. So in the first pack, there are 17. The first pack of 33 cards. They have stones and dancers. The cards are either a stone or a dancer. Stones, he says, give shape and form, pattern, and organization. Dancers represent free and flowing qualities that move through our lives, giving us energy, inspiration, and insight. So he goes around the quadrants. Then it gets into the card descriptions. And general thoughts about attunement to the she, safety with the she, some sample readings, and then the second part of the book is the introduction to the new cards, the Grail of the she. So his story of the new cards is that he was out for a jog one morning around the Puget Sound. So he lives here in the Pacific Northwest, obviously, up by Seattle somewhere. And a she apparently contacted him while he was out jogging and suggested they extend the deck by another 22 cards. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. It just came in this little white box with a clear plastic lid. Obviously the book wasn't all marked up. I've, put flags in various places for things. So I've had it for a few days. I've been kind of going through it, trying to figure out what to make of it. Hang on. So like I was saying, Jeremy Spangler was out jogging around the Puget Sound, and some she contacted him there while he was out running and wanted to do an expansion pack for this. And he also details was that he says, what really impressed me though was the next suggestion. Once the 22 cards were in production with an extension printing of the original 3.5 by 5 inch size, another deck could be printed combining the newer cards with the older ones. This would have 55 images since the original deck is 33, because this is the equivalent of a standard playing card deck. I thought that was 52 cards. It could be printed in a smaller, less expensive edition. There are companies who specialize in producing playing card decks for commercial promotions. So obviously my she friends had done their homework. So, and then with these newer cards, there's commentary on each card from a she named Mariel, who apparently is very chatty and contributed large sections of text. So, let's just say I'm not fully on board with the creation myth for this deck, but I like the cards nonetheless. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. And let's see. So, these are part of the original. We'll go through the first ones first. So the first one is the How, or the Hollow Hill. And then this is one of the 4 gate cards. This is the Gate of Earth. Oops, is that too close? Then we have the Gate of Dawn, the Gate of Twilight. And you'll notice none of the cards are numbered or labeled in any way. And we have the Altar, or the Gate of Consciousness. The Wizard Stone, if you can see a wizard in that image. The Artisan Stone. The Bard Stone. The Gatekeeper Stone. the Stone of Identity, Stone of Boundary, Stone of Opening, Stone of Emergence, the Ancestor Stone, the Fallen Stone. Okay, so the first ones that we just went through were the 17 stone cards. Now these are the 16 dancer cards. Each represents a particular quality or combination of qualities. So they're all labeled very literally. So for instance, this one is called a bird on the hand, bear and stone, blossoms and wheat, dragon and books, edge, fairy gold, Gaian throne, Grail and roses, moon stairs, ocean and land, palace, stag and pool, stone raptor, the shaping man, the feast, and the tossing coin. So those are the original 33 cards that were the deck. And then the newer cards, or the expansion pack, consists of 22 cards, bring the whole thing to a total of 55. The new ones are called the Grail deck. And there are 4 suits of 5 cards each. And then there's 2 cards that are standalone that act as kind of a 5th suit, just the 2 of them. Now, the first one, the Grail person, is the central card, or the Master Grail, for the entire new deck. And that's this one. Now that's one of the standalone cards. Each of the other Grail cards is the ace, or central card, for one of the 4 suits. The 4 suits are called Shapeshifting, Singing, Priestcraft, and Transitions. So take a look at those. So this is, just want to call it the Fiery Knight, and I know that's not right. The Knight of Fiery Hope. And then we go into the suit of Shape-Shifting. This one, the second suit is apparently very connected with the Arthurian and Grail mythos, so you might see some parallels there. This one is called The Lion, the Sword, and the Stone, which is very Narnia to me. And then we have Robe and Owl, Potter's Hand, the Living Stone, and the Misty Figure. So that's the shape-shifting suit. And the singing suit is the Kneeling Knight, Shadowy Stag and Bird. So very literal names for them. I guess you could always write it on if you wanted to. Music, Flute, and Roses, Trumpeters, and Gossamer Dancer. Get to my notes here. Okay, so the next suit is the suit of Priestcraft. And this one is Grail, Cathedral, and Stars. That's not right. Oops. Oh, Bread and Wine, sorry. Fish in Bubbles. Pegasus of Stars. Stone Circle and the Star. And the next suit is the suit of Transition. The Swan Boat and the Island. The Pendant and the Glyph. The Overgrown Door. The Bridge. And Phoenix and the Stone. So, that is the 55 card double pack or blended pack. I almost initially bought just the first 33 card deck, which I think can still be had separately, but it does not come with the book. I think from what I was reading from the reviews on Amazon, there was just a link to go to download a PDF, and people were even having trouble finding that. So I wanted the whole thing, so I sprang for the whole enchilada, all 55 cards plus the actual book. And like I said, I'm not entirely on board with the creation myth of this deck, if you will. But I do think it's very interesting, and I think the cards are very beautiful, and I think they would be good jumping off points for your own meditations and visualizations. So, you know, make what you will of the book and their supposed contacts with the Sidhe, who managed to run down printers for them. But yeah, I would not recommend this deck. This is the back, so obviously you're not going to be able to read these reversed if that's your thing, but I don't think there's reversed meanings given in the books anyway. But it's a very beautiful deck, and I like the art very much. And let's see if I can find the one that initially sparked my interest. Okay, so this was the card I initially saw online and was so intrigued by it that I managed to track it down and find out what deck it was from and got myself a copy. So anyway, I hope you like that. Another one of my weirdo decks. And please like and subscribe. Always appreciate that. And I will talk to you guys soon. Blessed be.